Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason, this one about the Browns' offensive system.
I was just watching the Orange and Brown report, or listening to it, and Scott Pasco was talking about how the offensive philosophy of the Browns is not working. It hasn't worked for a year and a half. And it's great to want to run the ball and with big bodies and everything, but I think this is offense. I mean, we're the only one the only team that's doing this, and there are other teams that love to run too, and they're not doing it. So, and maybe ask the coach, what the hell? Why are you doing this? Since it's not working,
And Mary Kay Cabot, I don't think you could honestly say it hasn't worked for a year and a half. I would give you maybe the last 9-10 weeks, the system has not been great. 49ers are still doing the same basic offensive system. There's the Vikings, there's others. But clearly, the results are not what they were last year or even earlier this year with this system.
Well, what they have to try to figure out is it the personnel? Is it the scheme? Is it the quarterback? Is it the play calling? Is it all of the above? The passing game needs an overhaul. There's no question about that. Now, would it be as simple as plugging in a new quarterback and seeing if that does the trick in any way, shape, or form? Would it be as simple as surrounding Baker Mayfield with 3 or 4 new receivers next year, which I think they do need an infusion of talent there? Would that do what they need it to do? I think in some ways, if they had different personnel, they would be calling the game differently. You can't call a high-flying passing game when you don't have the horses to run it. You've got to be able to have the personnel to run that kind of a scheme. Joe Burrow has some really good downfield receivers to throw the ball to. Even Ben Roethlisberger really does. So, the Browns are lacking in that area right now. The receiving core isn't what they thought it was going to be. And look, you saw how Donovan Peoples-Jones struggled in the first half of that game yesterday. So they don't have what they need at receiver. That kind of hurts everything in the passing game. And they have to determine how they plan to fix that.
Yeah, and the passing game kind of figures into the running game, because if you can't stretch the field and you can't spread it out, there's going to be more bodies that you have to move around when you're trying to run the football. Everything in that offense is interrelated, and I think you're right. The passing game needs an overhaul, and that may fix some of the ills that we see.